guys, welcome to today's video. Make sure you visit podcastformarketers.com for more information. Over there, I have a really kick-ass course on how you can make at least a few grand a month on simple reoccurring revenue, right? And that's called Freedom Funnels. And make sure that you like this video and subscribe to my channel, man. I'm put out videos every day, so you don't want to miss what I put up, because I put out some pretty kick-ass content. And man, I always want you guys to comment below, man. I absolutely love all the comments you guys bring. Let me know what you're thinking. If you have any questions, I'm always in the comment section. I really love the community. Let's get into the video. All right, guys, so it's Real Talk Tuesday, but I kind of want to extend, let's just look at it. All right, so I kind of want to extend from yesterday. A guy asked me basically how to write content, okay? All right, and how do you come up with good content ideas and status updates? All right, so first of all, like the other day in the group, I told you I don't like attaboys, right? Never, like, to give you an example, here in the group, you know, guys are posting up, oh yeah, man, I just made a kick-ass chat bot, and that's it, right? Attaboy, good deal. So what do? I go back in the bottom of the comments and go, hey man, would you like to share with us, you know, what you did? Because other than that, this post is no good. You're just bragging at this point. Or you're waiting for some attaboys, right? So some other guy comes up and he says, hey, man, I just wrote, you know, a couple ebooks and I sold 30 ebooks or something. All right, but why don't you share with us how the fuck you did it, right? Because other than that, it's just an attaboy. It's just, hey, look at me, look what I did. But in the group, it's not helping anybody because you're talking about you, right? And remember, we don't give a fuck about you. We only care about ourselves. I only care about me, right? I don't give a fuck about anybody else. That's who your prospects care about, right? So get in the habit of always, first of all, if you have an accomplishment, tell your audience. But don't just say, I had a really good day and I got 15 new clients today. No, break that shit down. So here's what I did, guys. I got 15 new clients and I thought I would share it with you. So the first thing I did was I cold called guys 100 times a day. And then I cold emailed 5,000 people per day. And then I went out and I tweeted people that hashtagged my keyword. Okay. And then that was the first half of the day. And then after that, I did, you know, callbacks. Okay. And I just added that in my work in progress on HubSpot. Okay. That is a proper status update. And people are like, this is awesome. I got to try this out. You know, I've done the same thing. Like I've had success with Facebook or whatever, right? What's wrong with sharing your successes? Don't be fucking stingy. Right? Share your successes. That's the number one post content idea that you can have, right? So, you know, everything else, I'm going to give you some real world examples to give you some ideas, right, on how you can post content. You should never be without content, ever. And even me, I get stuck on like what the fuck I should say today, because some days you'll have brain farts and I'm going to show you how to beat the blank page. Okay. So, but the first thing I want to tell you is anything is content, right? So what did you do today? Okay. And so just kind of trace your steps on what you did. Number one, always have either on your smartphone a voice recorder. I would prefer that you bought a cheapy voice recorder. Look, fuck, learn how to spell, Sonny. So let's just, Jesus Christ, man. All right, so there we go. REC, right? A voice recorder. And then, fucking journal is always cool. The reason why I say to have the old school shit with you in your hand is so you remember to use it. Your cell phone is kind of like, it's kind of like a stock device now. It's you don't appreciate it. You don't realize what your smartphone does. You could run a fucking multi-million-dollar business from your smartphone, right? But you don't use it to its full capacity. No one does, unless you're like an iPhone or an Android geek, right? Nobody does. So if you carried a voice recorder for the sole purpose of fucking ideas, it would work, right? So, and let me tell you what my voice recorder is. My wife. I'll admit it, right? So, and her iPad with the notepad. That's my voice recorder. So we'll be going somewhere, and I go, "That's a fucking blog post." I go, "Write this down," and she's laughing right now. So she'll, right. She says she's usually driving, right? Like, write this down really quick. So she'll get out her iPad while she's driving, and she'll jot down exactly what I say. Because here's how your brain is going to work, right? And I'm going to do a whole, blog post about this as well. See, this is a post idea, right? And I remember this. So it's true. This is how it happens. And the post, I already had the idea. My name is How Video Games, Facebook Messenger Video Games, I do this all the time, can give you ideas, okay? So you're going to have the critical thinking, and don't get me to lying, it's fucking your left or your right side of your brain, whichever one. I believe it's your right side of your brain is your critical thinking. And, huh? Well, see, I don't know. I don't care. All right, so my wife's like, see, I don't care. So, and then the right side of your brain or the left-hand side of your brain, whichever one, you guys correct me, is your creative side of the brain, right? So, then you'll have the right and left side. So what you do is if you're trying to be creative, go do some critical shit, right? Like playing a video game is critical. You got to do the moves. And then you got to stop thinking about whatever it is that you want to think about and just kind of let your subconscious take over. This shit works, right? But I'm going to do a whole blog post about it. I'm not going to do it right now. But what I'm going to tell you is that, it'll snap to you at times that you're not thinking about it. But when you do get it, you want to have a way to record it because you'll fucking forget. And me and my wife have done that 1,000 times. What was that I said to you in the car? I don't remember. Fuck. Why didn't we write it down? Right? So I'm telling you, write this shit down and take a voice recorder really quick. And it's what I call beats, right? Just do 3 quick beats, right? And remember, a story is a beginning, right? Fuck, learn how to write, Sonny. All right, so it's just, a beginning, number 1, a middle, number 2, a 3 is the end, right? And so just 3 beats, whatever, right? So let me give you an example of a quick a post, right? That you can kind of turn anything into a post because you can learn a lesson from anything. So let's just say, I really like Billions, right? The fucking TV show. That dude is pretty kick-ass, right? But I kind of like both guys. Boom. So, number 1, Billions. What is it about Billions that gives me inspiration? Well, number 2, I like both guys. Both guys is good and evil, right? Good and evil. But neither one of them, and they have some things in common, right? Both of these guys are non-stop fucking killers, right? They both want each other's throat, and they're both very successful guys, and that's what makes the show so dynamic. And it'll show you that either you're a good guy or you're a bad guy, but if you want to be successful, no matter what you're doing, you gotta be a fucking pit bull. You gotta have that I don't give a fuck attitude. You gotta be willing to do anything. Do you guys see where I'm going right now? Do you see where I just went with that, right? So that's number 3, right? What you got to be willing to do anything. All right, so that's my beat right there. And I just did that kind of on the fly, right? I wanted to do this kind of live so you guys could just kind of throw anything at me. But, you guys suck. Wouldn't have showed up and it just wouldn't have been right. So no, I'm being lazy. Don't worry, it's not your fault. All right, so it is, but no, it ain't. All right, so that's kind of how you get content ideas. And I just brought Billions up and kind of like just you can make something out of it because it's what you really like. And how do you get people to engage with your content is kind of being yourself, right? So I'm going to show you how to get content ideas better than this because this kind of takes fucking with, right? Number 1 is I can half-ass tell a decent story. I have been for a long time. So it's not the easiest thing in the world to do. I won't lie and say it is. But you can get shit out of what you're doing by writing down these 3, what I call beats, right? Just the boom, 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 3, done, done, done. 3 heartbeats. Just give me a beginning, a middle, and an end. Billions, a good subject. I like the fucking show. What does it do to inspire me? There you go. The inspiration, right? Right? And so now when you sit down with your beat, now you're going to say, well, I was talking about billions and why it inspires me. And then you're going to say, okay, so why billions inspire me is why I like it. And you go, okay, so, I said I like the good and the evil. Yeah, because these dudes are like fucking at each other's throat. And you write exactly what I just said. These guys are at each other's fucking throats. If that's how you talk. That's how I fucking talk, right? So these guys are at each other's fucking throat, blah, blah, blah. It's a blog post, man. I'm telling you. Put that in your status update. Use a kick-ass picture from the show of the 2 guys looking at each other. And then, why billions can make you billions. I don't fucking know. Cornball fucking headline. Who knows? Why the show Billions made me $100,000 last year. Who knows? Whatever. Just post that up. Post a nice attention-grabbing headline. Remember that from yesterday? Post up a nice attention-grabbing headline, right? Make it interesting, right? Make them desire whatever it is that you're talking about right here. And then at the end, number 3, this will be a lesson that you'll teach, right? And don't leave a call to action or anything because it's just a fucking status update. But just you caught their attention, you make them interested and desire whatever it is that you're talking about, and then have a kick-ass ending or whatever about, the lesson that you learned. Right now, if you in business, you have to be, a fucking, you have to love the grit. You have to be, a fighter. You have to fight, fight everything. You got to really have to go after it and get it. You can't be sitting around being a pussyfoot, however the fuck you want to talk, right? That's how it goes. It's like that post I posted the other day about being obsessed with your business and, dreaming and eating and sleeping it. That would be the end right here, right? And that post did well. I just posted it up the other day. It did well. So people will react, people will feel it, some people will not, right? So anything could be used for that. I could pick 1,000,001 subjects, but I'm not. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to take a quick field trip, guys, and I'm going to kind of show you another way to get content. Now, obviously, I'm going to tell you right now that my Freedom Funnels class, that's what it's all about. And yeah, I'm going to tell you about it because the Freedom Funnels class is like $60 fucking dollars, and it has every blog post imaginable and tons of content ideas because that's what it's all about, right? But I'm just giving you a quick overview of what I did to try to find content. So I just use kayak fishing as a subject here, and I went to BuzzSumo and I ran kayak fishing, and I found the top shared post on there. Now you could pay these guys for more results, but I'm just doing this as an example. So why I don't deep sea fish anymore from a kayak? Go read the blog post and see what it talks about, right? Kayak fishing, big thrills on a small budget. Now that's awesome. It's an awesome headline, right? And it's big thrills on a small budget. People like that. That's a really awesome headline. So now you have a headline to rip off, but now you also know that people want to talk about a small budget with kayak fishing, and they are you had 2,200 shares on Facebook, 7 shares on LinkedIn, and 82 fucking retweets on Twitter, and even 2 Pinterest shares, right? Which that might have been him sharing his own shit, but it doesn't matter. But a total of 2,200 shares. People obviously like this, and this was earlier in the year, so you could actually make some type of alternative post to this, and people would probably like it. So there's one. The next thing I did was I searched medium.com for post that I liked, right? So beginner's kayak fishing equipment guide, that's pretty cool, right? And change this to my all-time top picks for beginning fishermen, kayak fishermen. Boom, done. Right? This is the most insightful stories about kayak fishing. Let's see here. Anchorless kayak fishing. Here you go. What's the best kayak fish finder under $200? That's really specific, isn't it? Right? So these are just really cool. Like you can just kind of and all I did was just cite. Google is your fucking friend, man. So cite, semicolon, medium. Is that semicolon is the 2 dots, right? Yeah. All right. So semicolon, You think too. See what the fuck? So it's the two dots. What the two semicolons? What I want. The two dots. What is that? I think that's a colon. Well, that's a colon then. All right. So site colon maybe I think. You're no help whatsoever. All right. So site colon medium.com. Kayak fishing. I put a space there, and then it kind of just gives you a list of everything. That's it. So then the next thing I did was to get more ideas is I used this little tool I have called Adzula. If you didn't get it, you just really, I use this a lot, right? So I just ran kayak fishing and Adzula, and then I saw Reddit. I'm like, oh shit, I forgot about Reddit, right? So I clicked on the Reddit link right here and came with some really cool shit right here, right? First kayak, what upgrades would you recommend? My top 10 upgrades, must have upgrades for your first kayak. Done. Right? So there you go, right? I mean, there's tons of information. Reddit is, people do not use Reddit, and it is a plethora of information, dude. Do not discount Reddit because people upvote this shit. So they obviously liked the headline that the people used, right? So this one was a good one, okay? First fish, huh? Colon is 2 dots. The colon is the 2 dots. Cool, thank you. Somebody already had that fucking answer by the time you said that, but that's all right. At least we did it before the video was over. It didn't look silly. All right, so all right. So the first fish caught from, a kayak. I'm hooked or whatever. So could I put a kayak in my car? Right. 20 of the best inflatable kayaks that you can put in your car under $200. Boom. Content, right? People will like. So the next thing I went and did was looked up bass fishermen, right, online. And so I used yet another tool to run their Facebook pages right here, right? So I wanted to find out what was like this guy, Rick Clun. I wanted to find out, or Clune, whatever his name is. I wanted to find out what his best post was. So I took the tool and I found out. He's talking about he's in China, so there's a reason I can fish better. And that post is like one of his best posts right now. They got the most shares, and I happen to see it. It was right here. And it was just a regular story. He goes, my son Sage captured the reason I fish better than I can. He's in China for the first semester of his college. And he actually wrote like a little blog post here. And that got the most shares, the most likes or whatever. All of his other shitty posts did okay. But that real story about him and his son fishing, blah, 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 got the most likes or whatever. So you can see being yourself can kind of do it. Now, I didn't have to use this tool that I have called Social Insider. This is a really good snooping tool to find out what works better. So there's also this guy here, this Mike, whatever his name is. So I wanted to find out his best post. And he posted up a lot of products, right? So, but here it is. His kid with the first battle with her first catfish in a small video, right? Fun time with my wifey. So basically personal shit does well. I'm not going to mention the name of, well, actually it was Kadira, but I'm not going to tell you what her niche is or whatever. But I mentioned to her yesterday to, look, you need to do some live videos in this particular niche that I see that you really like. She did it and got tons of engagement, like shitloads of engagement. She did a really good job. It was a video so simple. People like those simple live videos to get in touch with them directly, right? So these are ways that you can get post ideas. Find out what's the best post. If you don't have a tool, it's okay. But just look through and see what posts got a lot of shares, like this one did. I get a lot of questions about the proper hooks. Yes, I'm normally on a tournament day, will change my hooks, especially with crankbanks, blah, blah, blah. But he's telling what hooks that he likes, and he's breaking it all down. That got a lot of fucking likes and comments right here and 29 shares. Okay? So whatever you are, give value, basically. Like the other guy on his page, he kind of sucked because he was just basically like, come watch my shit, come watch my shit, come buy my stuff, come buy my stuff. And it really kind of sucked ass. And he had way more, this guy has way more fans. He's got like 100-something thousand fans, right? but this guy is actually trying to provide a little bit of value. So I preferred his page better, and obviously so do his followers, right? 100. The other guy didn't have as many shares, and he's got like 20,000 followers right here. So just to show you how to get some ideas, just get on the internet, look around, change the shit, write up what you know about yourself. Google is your friend. That's all this is a scraper for Google right here. And I just remembered, oh shit, I forgot about Reddit. So sometimes you'll forget about things. But another thing here on this particular tool is YouTube. So don't be scared to search YouTube as well. So I could have searched for YouTube for kayak fishing here. It would have gave me some of the top fishing channels, and found out I could have found out what fishing videos had the most views over the last couple of months. What was the subject line? Find out what people are asking for. You know what I mean? So another thing you can do is go to Facebook groups, go to old school message boards, and just look at the questions asked. People will ask, hey man, what hooks should I use to catch a bass? Boom, content idea. If you're a fisherman, you know, my top picks that I use for the types of hooks and tackle for spring bass. Fuck, who knows, right? So those are your content ideas, guys. Like I said, I go in a lot more depth in my Freedom Funnels course. I tell you, you never have, you should never have a blank page. You should never not be able to have anything to write about. There's always something to write about. Find out, be passionate, and you need to have, like, if you put up too much like positive shit, then people kind of tune you out after a while. So you kind of got to do a little mix, right? And if you notice in my group, if you're a part of the squad, if you're not, go to funnelhackerpro.com, join up with the squad, man. There's a lot of cool guys in there. But anyways, so if you notice that in the squad, I will post on the weekends. I'm kind of laid back. Hey guys, you know, I kind of try to go with what should be going on the weekend. Let's stop talking about fucking work. Give me a good movie to watch. What books are you guys reading? Who's doing what? What's happening for the weekend? What, you know, who's going out? Who's staying in? And just kind of talk about anything. I'll show my, you know, I'm going fishing or whatever's going on, and we'll just have like a normal conversation. But if you notice, as soon as Monday comes in, I'm like, all right, guys, get it in gear. Let's get busy. Let's get to work. And I'll post up some motivational shit, or I'll post up some actual like physical like tutorial on how to do some shit like I'm doing right now. Okay. So you just kind of mix it up on your status updates. Being positive all the time looks cornball. Being like a hard ass all the time. Like the other day I posted up some hard ass shit like, don't be a fucking late, don't be a slacker, get obsessed, get to work, right? So you just kind of got to just change your tone and how you would normally talk. I'm not always cool with my wife, and we're not always, well, yeah, we are kind of. Yeah, I'll be lying to say we don't laugh all day, but what we talk about varies though, right? We talk about different shit, right? Yeah, right. So we talk about business. We talk about, you know, our love life. We talk about going fishing a lot. We talk about work a lot, right? So, but we talk about different things, right? So do the same thing that you would have in a relationship. Remember, you're in a relationship. I'm in a relationship with you guys. You guys are my squad. You're my team. So I want to talk with you like I talk with anybody else. So if you do that, you'll never have brain farts for content. Coffee break.